Since 2000, I have had the privilege of being the attorney coach for the Jonesboro mock trial team. I've done it now. This is the 17th year that we've done it. I started in 2010 because my daughter was on the team and she asked if I would help coach. I started that year. I've done it ever since. It became a hobby, a fascination, and just a complete enjoyment to try to help these students learn not just about the legal system, but to learn about things and skills that will help them throughout not only their high school and college career, but later on in life as well.
All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They all have their entrances and exits, and one woman, in her time, plays many roles. Today we will prove beyond a reasonable doubt that the defendant was the writer, producer, and director of the plot to steal the Cherokee Rose. The defendant's production was supposed to debut on March 18th of 2015. However, you will see that she began developing her plan during the course of the year leading up to the day of the heist.
Finally, a victim of a wrongful prosecution. However, unlike most criminal cases, the victim in today's case will not be called as a prosecution witness. Instead, she is seated here at the defense table. Today, the state will fail to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Talbot was a co-conspirator in the theft of the Cherokee Rose.
Yes, during the day, I am a professor at the Carly Institute, and at night, I am a security guard at the Carly Museum of Art. In fact, ma'am, I believe you should call me Officer Diego.
Okay, Officer Diego, what are some of your duties as a security guard?
As a security guard, I run a very tight ship. Because unlike my supervisors, I actually know what it takes to protect the art at the Carly.
I'll sustain on the labels. The jury is instructed not to consider any markings unless a proper foundation is laid for those. However, subject to that limiting instruction, I will admit the exhibits generally to show the layout.
This is Senefica security log for March 5th and March 18th, 2015.
And is it an accurate representation of the logs from both of those days?
Yes, it is accurate.
Your Honor, the state tenders Exhibit 4 into evidence. Its accuracy and authenticity have been stipulated. Furthermore, pursuant to Stipulation 9, Exhibit 4 was made in the regularly conducted business activity of the Carly Museum.
Now, once you entered the room, Miss Berrien introduced you to Doherty, didn't she?
By a party opponent, and therefore this evidence does not fit this exception.
I'm going to overrule out to be admitted.
Yes,
Yes,
Your
Your
Honor.
Honor.
Dad, Miss Bateman, you were offered 5 years probation for that exact same charge, right?
Yes, and the agreement to it was that I simply had to tell the truth, which is why I'm here.
So Liz Tor was under the false pretense that you are a potential donor for the museum, right?
Yes, that was part of Berrien's plan.
And before the defendant provided you with the script for the production, the security codes, did you know how to work the museum's security cell phone app?
After our dress rehearsal, I knew how to work the security systems, but other than that, I wouldn't have known.
No further questions, Your Honor.
To collect and considered all that we had.
However, Detective Gardner, you did not collect any fingerprints from the museum, did you?
No, sir, as we could not find any fingerprints relating to the heist.
Oh, yes. Yes, I do. Miss Berrien is the curator at the museum, and she's a very nice and smart lady, but at times she can get pretty busy. But she still manages to talk with me every now and then.
When Diego confronted Miss Berrien, who was there?
Miss Diego and Miss Berrien, of course. And she was crouched outside the entrance, and she looked back at me like there was some real danger in the building. And she looked at me and told me, "Shh."
She stated that she was going to treat herself to the trip in March of 2015, didn't she?
Yeah.
Next thing you heard was a laugh, and just don't hit me too hard, right?
Yes, of course. I began working at the Telfair Museum, where I met Talbot, and everything was good, but I got a job offer from the New Charlton Museum to be the curator. And I took the offer, but my career was short-lived.
I mean, I was dedicated to my job. I never took a day off. I never even took a vacation, unlike some people.
Did you do anything to try and fix those financial difficulties?
Well, of course. That's when I began making arrangements to bring in the Cherokee Rose exhibit.
Where did you keep these notes?
On my desk in my personal office.
And what kind of access to the security system did you have when using them?
Well, even though you hadn't signed a loan agreement yet, you still claim that Ashley contacted you about potential benefactors for that painting, right?
When you go in the jury room, look closely at Exhibit 5. And remember that all parties have stipulated that the handwriting in this document is the defendant's.